Good morning. Good morning. Gee, it's great to start your day with coffee with Karma today. Good morning. And how are you? I hope you're having a good week. I've had an interesting week, but that is another story. Today, I'd like to tell you a lesson and a few tips that come from outer space. Yes, Klaatu Barada Nikto, and this is not what you say to that movie, this is a completely different series, but I just felt like doing that. Anyway, today I'm going to be giving you some tips and advice for helping you be a more successful author and create a book that attracts clients, all inspired by the film, The Day the Earth Stood Still. The original one, not the one that starred Keanu Reeves, because that one was terrible. But that's my the original one can be slow at times, but it's a really, really good film. Anyway, my name is Carma Spence, and I help executive coaches, business leaders, and consultants write, publish, and market a client attracting book so that they can grow their business. Now let's get to the tips, right? Hmm. So number 1, command attention with your book message. When you never I don't think you remember. There's Klaatu. Klaatu is the name of the robot, and then there's his alien master, which is actually quite different than the original short story. Original short story, everyone thinks Klaatu is a servant, but he turns out to be the master. Anyway, beside the point. When this couple, these 2 people, well, a person and a robot, arrived, the world stopped. And when you can make your message so powerful to your ideal clients that they stop and pay attention, your book will be successful. And there are a few things you can do to make that more likely. It's too extensive to go into in this particular video, but I do have an opt-in that you can have. It's a checklist of all the things you can do to go through the publishing process, and it includes a lot of tips on how to make sure that you have the right idea. You can drop opt-in in the comments below, and I will send the link to you. Or you can buy my book. It all starts with the right idea. It all no wait, it all starts with an idea, and that goes through my main process of MSV, which is Mindstorm, Sift, Validate. You go through that process, your book has a very good chance of doing well and attracting the right clients. I'm developing a program where I will train people to go even deeper than what was covered in my book because I've come up with a few more tweaks to that system that make it even more powerful. It's really exciting, and I'll be launching that in January. If you're interested in getting on the wait list, let me know by putting waitlist in the comments below. So, tip number 2, create urgency for action, just like the countdown in The Day There Stood Still. So, I'm gonna call him Remy because I can't remember the alien's name. I don't know if we got the alien's name, but Remy, that's the last name of the actor. I think it's Michael Remy is the actor who played him. When they arrived, they said, "You've got" I think it was like 3 days or 5 days, or it was a short period of time in which you need to make these certain decisions, or we're gonna destroy your planet. Now, then Remy's character went into the world and got to know real humans and realized, "Okay, we don't really wanna destroy the world, but we're gonna block it off from the rest of us so that they don't destroy us." So that's how it ended up. Ooh, spoiler alert. So what you wanna do is when you write your book, when you sell your book, when you launch your book, you wanna add in urgency so that people don't just set the information aside and go, "Oh, I'll get to this later." Because if they get to it later, they'll get the results later, maybe because things will change. right? So you want to include a sense of urgency as to why they need to act on your message now rather than later. What if you can identify the costs of not acting now so that they feel the pain enough to act now, you bake that into the book, you are more likely to get not only to attract the right clients, but to get them onto your list, which is the point, because once they're on your list, you can nurture them and turn them into actual clients. So urgency is part of what you need to add in there. Tip number 3, position your book as a catalyst for change. And when I say that, okay, when I say catalyst for change, I don't mean you're changing the whole world, but you're definitely changing the reader's life. For example, when you read a book about something and the ideas in that book light you on fire, so you change your life, you change the way you do things. For example, I really, really enjoyed, oh, I've forgotten his last name. Anyway, Uncopyable by Steve somebody. I hate it when my brain does farts. I did not get enough sleep last night, so I'm having a few brain farts this morning. Anyway, Uncopyable has really tweaked the way I look at my own marketing, and it also empowered me because I realized, "Hey, I've been heading in the right direction in the first place." So, that book was a catalyst for change for me. Um, Back when I was in high school, reading Planet the Cave Bear was a catalyst of change for me. I don't think that's what she intended for the book, but it really got me on a deeper spiritual path, which has gone in completely different directions from then, but it was the catalyst, oddly enough. It's not even a spiritual book. Anyway, if you can position your book as a catalyst for change in your reader's life, read this and you'll never do marketing the same. Read this and you'll never talk to your baby the same. Read this and you'll never make a bad cup of coffee again. Good morning. It doesn't matter how big the change is. The fact is that the people are reading your book because they want a change. And if you can position your book as the catalyst for that change, that helps them make that change, move toward that change, achieve that change that they are seeking, you are better likely to sell more books, attract more clients, and turn those readers into actual paying clients. Tip number 4, deliver a lasting message that demands attention. So when you're writing a client attracting book, you're not writing a mamby-pamby book. You can't afford to. Your book needs to have a message that's so compelling that your ideal clients go, "Yes, I want to read that." Now, when I say that, it does not have to be shattering. It just needs to be compelling. Let's take Uncopyable for a moment. The message of that book is that when you become uncopyable, your business prospers. That is a very compelling message. And it makes you lean in because what does it mean to be uncopyable? How do I make myself uncopyable? It causes all these questions and promises the answers. That is a compelling message, and it demands attention. Tip number 5, craft a universal theme for maximum impact. Now, there is a reason why The Day the Earth Stood Still is still a relatively well-known movie, still beloved, got a remake, no matter how bad. It's because it has a universal message. Well, when your book has a universal message to it, then it has legs. It can last. it can stand the test of time. So, for example, Think and Grow Rich has a universal message. People are still buying copies of it. Um, Another book that has a universal message is, oh gosh, it's the one about surviving the, man's search for meaning. Man's search for meaning. It's about surviving the concentration camps. It's not just about surviving concentration camps. It's about how your mindset affects all areas of your life, and mindset can be the key to survival. That is a universal message because honestly, if you don't have the right mindset, it doesn't matter how hard you think or try to create that kind attracting book. You are going to stop somewhere along the way, and it's either not gonna happen or what comes out the other end and does happen doesn't do what you want it to do. And it really often is rooted in your mindset while you're writing that book. So, mindset's very powerful. Uncopyable, which I've mentioned a couple of times already. That one has a relatively universal message for business owners because even if the examples he gives in the book become dated, the concept of becoming uncopyable is universal to businesses because I can see 50 years from now, businesses still wanna be uncopyable because they still wanna stand out and they still wanna get the most business. So there you go. 5 tips inspired by the 1950s movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Klaatu barada niktu, klaatu barada niktu, and I will see you on Monday. Ciao.